I think one of the reasons why I look so hard for ways to support my students is that I've lived this disgustingly charmed life. Like I don't wish, but have had very few struggles that have resulted from me being a woman. And I think that's in part because of the instrument I play and the time in which I live. If I had been a female flutist 40 years ago, I think that story would be really, really different. But because I was a flutist growing up in the 90s and studying in the early 2000s when really wonderful female flutists were a huge part of the professional scene. Jeannie Baxtresser and Carol Winsink and my teachers, Susan Hoeppner and Linda Chesis and Paula Robison, huge names in the flute world. It no longer was a man's world. And so for me growing up, and because I had super supportive parents who never even gave me a clue that maybe things might not go my way because I was a woman, it didn't really ever occur to me. And then I came to South Texas, and one of the questions on my interview, I was stunned, absolutely floored by this. One of the questions on my interview was about empowering young women.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to paraphrase it. This was not exactly the question, but it had something to do with how would you convince a young girl who wants to study music, how would you convince her that it's okay to study music, to leave home and go to university to study music? How would you convince her of that? And it had never, I'm amazed I got this job because I had no answer prepped for that. And I think I made up some gobbledygook about, letting them know about all the amazing female flutists out there. And I guess that worked. But it wasn't until I got to South Texas that I realized it really is a thing. Like, in our region of the country, I think that women are not as uplifted as they are maybe elsewhere in the country. And I think they haven't been given as many opportunities, and they haven't been given as many outlets to exercise their rights and their freedoms and their dreams. And that has become really important for me. So I guess, to finally answer your question, that has been the challenge in my life, is to find ways to let my students know that it's okay to take risks, that it's okay to explore other avenues in their lives that are non-traditional, and that it's okay for them to be themselves and solve problems and think critically and be engaging and assertive leaders in their field.